Thank you very much. So this morning's 5-minute slot is Jen Heppell from Star Shell Communications, and she's going to talk about Pinterest. Hi, Jen.
Hello, hi everybody. So yeah, I've been in the last year or so, I've been doing quite a lot with Pinterest. One of my clients was suggested that they join it. So I was asked to learn about it and figure it all out. Then there's quite a lot to it that I hadn't realized in the past. And as I was mentioning the other week, and then David told me I had to do a 5-minute talk on it. So here we go. It is one of my favorite networks. It's more than a social network. It's more like a search engine. So people use it to look for ideas for weddings, moving house, decorating. I'm sure most of you at some point or other have probably found yourself on Pinterest after searching for something. And more people are using it to find everyday items and to create boards for things that they want to buy. So yeah, it's really good for small businesses because it's more people use it for just looking for one particular thing. So here we go. There are 433 million active monthly users, which is more than Twitter and Reddit. Obviously not as much as Google and Facebook, but it is still quite a big growing site. Men are the fastest growing demographic. 82% of users access it on their mobile. And this is my best one. 97% of searches are unbranded. So instead of people looking for Nike trainers, they're just looking for trainers, or they're not looking for Tiffany jewelry, they're just looking for jewelry. So that means that small businesses can really promote themselves well and don't need to use the same budget as bigger brands do to get their things across to more people. And 8 out of 10 users say the network makes them feel more positive, which is a lot higher than the likes of Facebook and Instagram, which we know in the recent times has had quite a lot of negative press. So how to pin content on Pinterest. You need to have something that people can send content that can send pins to. So you either need blogs. If you've got products, that's brilliant because you can pin each product and each product can have its description and it can send people straight to your website to buy them. If you've got blogs, they work really well as well. So you need to create some sort of content for them to go to. You can send them to likes of Instagram to pin to your post on Instagram, but it doesn't really like it that much. It doesn't promote those pins as much as new content. Attention grabbing short headlines. So 5 ways to do this, 3 things for this, learn here how to make more money, or big attention grabbing things work well. And you need to use keywords. So keywords are a bit like SEO in that the words that people will look for your for what you're trying to promote. So you need to just put them in your text when you're talking, a bit in the same way that you do with SEO on your websites. So I thought I'd give you a couple of examples of some of my clients' pins and mine. So you can see these ones have done really well because the one, for instance, for ALS has got the picture, it's nice and big, it's bold, it's bright, it grabs people's attention when they look at it. They can see who the company is. They can see what they do. It's all outdoors. The next one is mine. That one works quite well because it's got the big, bold headline that gets people's attention. It's got a nice big picture. Again, that's just a stock image. I didn't actually have that one. Don't tell Emma or Lucy, they'll tell me off. And then the next one is another one of my interior design clients. Obviously, interior design works amazingly well on Pinterest. If you know somebody who does interior design and they're not on Pinterest, they really are missing a trick. It's a huge area along with weddings. But again, that's got the nice big picture that gets people's attention and they can see straight away. So that's it, I think. There's a little bit, so they don't just do plain pins. They have these ones they call ideas pins, which is either a little video, a bit like a reel or a TikTok explaining something. Some people are using carousel posts in the same way, so you can have more than one picture that people can scroll through to get them. They've really only recently just come out in like the last month, so there isn't as much data surrounding those at the moment. And then product pins. So if you do sell products on your website, you can put a pin which has the price, the description, and people click it and it takes them straight through to your website to buy it. So it's a direct link into your website, which I'm sure the more links that you have into your website, all helps with your SEO and boosts you across Google and the like. That's a little bit about the different sorts of pins. And then that's it, I'm afraid. It was a very quick 5-minute talk because I didn't want to bombard you all with information. But yeah, I've got a few templates if anybody wants them. I'm doing a masterclass next week about Pinterest because people keep asking me about it. So I thought I'd do it. And I've literally this week just set up a Facebook group. So if you'd like to come along and join me, I'd be very grateful because there's only me in it at the moment. So that's it. If you've got any questions, I'll happily answer anything if you'd like to know.
Lovely. Thank you very much for that, Jem. So if we stop sharing the screen, but I'll send that, if you send it to me, I'll send it out with the email so people can grab those QR codes, you can call them barcodes, QR codes. Take it away.
Go on then, Nick.
Well, this is bizarre because I thought, oh, I'll look into this. And I went onto the App Store and the first thing that was on the App Store was Pinterest. How spooky is that? I've never looked at it before. I've not got Pinterest on my phone. And I just went straight on. I thought, oh, this is something I should be looking into. And Pinterest was the first thing to come up there. So just bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, they're watching you.
They are. They all know everything.
It's the Chinese, Nick. If you're on TikTok, it's the Chinese, mate. They're harvesting you.
Ah, yeah, I filled them because I went on Top Tick.
Okay, thank you for that. Anybody got any questions for Jen around Pinterest? Yeah, Catherine, take it away.
Jen, how many pins do you suggest that somebody posts, either a day or a week?
Yeah, so Pinterest themselves recommend between 8 and 15 pins a day, which is quite a lot. It's a lot to do. I've seen quite good growth with one of my clients. We're just doing one a day at the moment, just to kind of get them into it. And they're seeing quite good traction. But to get started, it does take a while as well. But on the flip side, the good thing is that with Pinterest, your pins tend to last for about 4 months before they disappear. Whereas with Facebook and Instagram, they only last for sort of, well, less than a day, really. You don't really get a day out of them. So whilst it is quite a lot of work to put them in, and it does take a while for it to build, it's sort of a 3 to 6 months sort of process before you're getting the good returns back. They do last for quite a while. There is a scheduling software called Tailwind, which is a bit like it's got the design in it and the scheduling in it, and you can create those. It's made specifically for Pinterest, so it posts directly to your boards. It's really good. That is worth its weight in gold if you're taking Pinterest seriously. It costs well, when it's on offer every other month, and it's about £60 for the year. Right. But it's worth it. I'd definitely recommend that if you want to do it seriously.
Right. Okay.
Jen, can I ask a question? So if you've got one piece of content, say one blog, can you have multiple pins to that one blog, or are you having to cut? The idea of producing 6 or 8 pieces of content a day is frightening.
Yeah, so it does like it. It does like it when they're new pins, but a new pin to Pinterest could just be slightly changing the picture, or maybe the headline tweaked slightly. It doesn't have to be a completely new picture. So maybe you've got a blog with 5 different pictures in. You can do 5 different pins, and that counts as new. It does. You can also as well, you can do rich pins, which is where you put your URL into Pinterest and it knows that it's a real site, and it backs it all up. But yeah, I know it's the idea of doing 8 or for everything is quite frightening. But again, you see with Tailwind, if you're going to do it seriously, Tailwind is definitely worth using because it helps to do that because it pins it to each. So you should have about 10 boards on Pinterest with different topics, and you can set it to pin to each board a week apart. So then you get a big schedule. So I've made, for mine, for instance, I've got, I think I've got about 10 different blogs, and I've got about 200 pins scheduled ready to go because it's just put them into all different boards.
And is it better B2B or B2C rather, or do B2B businesses do well on Pinterest as well?
I'm seeing a bit of both, to be honest. Obviously, B2C is huge because it's products, and it's people are planning for Christmas already. So there's all that sort of stuff building. But yeah, I mean, I'm seeing quite good results. I'm B2B and I'm getting quite good results on it. So it's definitely a growing market, I would say. I'd say it's not, B2B is not the top at the moment, but it's definitely growing.
Ask a question or make a comment. I've only ever used it a little bit to gather ideas. So I'm taking pins. I've never put a pin up. So I didn't even know that's what you did. I just thought you used it. Obviously, somebody's got to have put it there, but you know, for decorating ideas, garden ideas, and wedding ideas, I've used it a little bit, and I've had people sort of share boards with me and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll come on your masterclass and learn how to actually set it all up and post to it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I think that's what most people use it for, to be honest, is to share ideas and information around. In the last sort of 18 months or so, Pinterest have really changed, and rather than they used to be quite focused on sharing content that was already there, they're now really promoting new content. So it's becoming quite a big platform for businesses, and especially I think as well in the next sort of year or so, there's going to be quite a big kickback from the likes of social medias like Facebook and Instagram. I don't think end users are loving it as much. So I think that having more insights into your business like Pinterest and Google and the like will all help. If you're just relying on it, Facebook and Instagram, I don't think it'll do very well.
It's interesting though, Jen, isn't it? Because most social media platforms want to keep you on the platform. Pinterest seems to, the premise is that it takes you off the platform and to your website or
Yeah, definitely.
to YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jen, that's really good, really interesting. Thank you very much.
No problem. I'm glad you liked it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Jen. And we'll share those slides out with everybody as well.